I'm Brenda Caldwell, aka Dr. B. Welcome to the Hope Zone, moving you from a place of hopelessness and brokenness to a place of healing and wholeness, a place where hope is alive to bring you more peace, more joy, more freedom, and more understanding of your God-given purpose. Let's enter the Hope Zone. Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Hope Zone with me, Brenda Caldwell, aka Dr. B. Oh my goodness, you are tuned in on the right day with the right vessel. It's about to go down here for episode 58. Episode 58. You are entering the Hope Zone where there is hope for every situation. Yes, it is. And today there's hope if you have trust issues. We have a title for you: What to Do When Your Trust Has Been Crushed. Oh my. So many people, I know this from my counseling hat, my therapy hat, that I wear, do struggle with trust issues. I'm going to give you that title again: What to Do When Your Trust Has Been Crushed. Do you have trust issues? Do you have somebody in your life that has trust issues? Are you trying to regain trust because you violated trust? Well, we're going to cover somewhat the gamut, but to be honest, our focus today really is on if you yourself have trust issues, because your trust was violated, it was crushed. So we're going to talk about what really is trust issues. We're going to talk about some of the signs of having trust issues. Then we're going to talk about what you can do to really overcome those trust issues. So stay with me. You're in the right place at the right time. I promise you. Let's get started. Come on. So we're talking about trust issues. We're talking about trust issues are characterized by a fear. When we have trust issues, there's fear. Come on, let's get real now. Let's get real. I do this podcast for the one. I'm thankful for my many ones, but I'm really thankful for you being my one. And of course, I do it for the one. So we're talking about trust issues. And if you're my one today, open your heart, open your spirit to receive this word, because again, a lot of times we do have trust issues. Sometimes we don't even know we have trust issues. That's why I'm going to break down and show you some of the signs. But trust issues are really characterized by fear. Wherever there's a distrust, there's fear. Fear of betrayal, fear of abandonment, fear of even manipulation, being manipulated. And this fear is often triggered as a result. Sometimes it's because there was maybe infidelity in a relationship. And there's all kinds of ways to have trust issues. Not that's just one, but we know that several, people have, of course, dealt with having infidelity happen in their relationship and in their marriage. And so it can really cause some serious trust issues. But trust issues can run the gamut. They really can. They can, just the fear of abandonment that's rooted in, if your father left you as a child, mother left you as a child, if you experience some type of abandonment that's rooted basically in a, important maternal or paternal type of relationship, a mother or father, that can really go deep down into the soul and create trust issues that can follow you for a lifetime. Dealing with having someone manipulate you by being dishonest, perhaps gaslighting you, those kinds of things that can create to trust issues, because it's like you don't ever want to be deceived again. You don't want to be manipulated, don't want to be gaslighted. So you kind of have trust, you can have trust issues. So trust issues can just stem from different life experience, past experiences that you've had in relationships when people did not keep their word. Oh my God, that's so huge. It's so huge to keep our word, because we really can create trust issues for people because we don't keep our word. And so Again, it can be just from having, again, experience some past experience that that caused a wall to come up. Why? Because someone just again let you down. Anytime there's trust issues, it involves being disappointed. And what does disappointment mean? It means really being let down. Someone did not do what we expected them to do, and it created this issue of trust. And so we're going to get dive deeper into this so that you can be helped today. If you have trust issues, maybe you have them and you don't know. So let's go a little bit deeper. Maybe you know somebody that has trust issues and you think, you know what? I love this person so much. I care about them. I'm gonna send this podcast to them. I'm gonna send this episode to them. Just tell them to listen to it, check it out, just see if it's something that can help you with. Because sometimes our friends tell us that they have trust issues. So the Hope Zone is here to be a help to your friend, and to you. So let's get started. So I want to share with you some of the signs that you may have trust issues. Again, somebody that you know may have trust issues. So here are some of the signs. You focus on the negative. Whenever we have trust issues, we tend to focus on the negative. That means, people that are trusting are really more likely to see things more, see more positivity, more positive traits in each other. But once you start having trust issues, it causes you to more so focus on the negative aspects of a person. You tend to think about their weaknesses rather than their strengths, and it really can be a sign of just distrust because you think they're so weak that, okay, you're so weak. I know you're probably gonna cheat again. You're so weak that you're gonna, give in to temptation, or you're so weak. You act out of emotion, and you just are led by your emotions and things. So sometimes, again, we tend to focus on the negative when we have trust issues. Is that you? You find yourself focusing when we're talking about trust issues. Of course, we're talking about involving another person. If that person is our spouse, significant other, it could be our child, it can be an adult child, it can be, again, anybody in our life that we have a close relationship with, and we just don't trust them. And again, there's always a root of it. There's some kind of fear involved when we have trust. It's a fear, again, that is a lot of times stemming from childhood, and it just carries over into our relationships that we have now. And again, sometimes people have done things that have given us a pause, or giving us a reason, if you will, to trust them, to distrust them, I should say, to not trust them. But again, we're talking about what are some of the signs so that we can challenge ourselves. Another one is that you feel like you have to do everything. When you have trust issues, it's like you can't rely on this person. You can't trust them to follow through. You can't trust them to pay the bill. You can't trust them to be on time. So, that's okay. I'll take my daughter, I'll take our daughter to practice because I know I can't even trust you to pick her up, those kinds of things. When you find yourself again repeating that pattern of feeling like you are the one who has to do everything in a relationship, that's a sign of having trust issues. Number three, another sign is you find yourself being suspicious. Oh, that's a huge one, right? You're suspicious of family, suspicious of friends. So find yourself you're suspicious because you don't want to be betrayed. You don't want to be let down. You feel like there's always an ulterior motive for somebody doing something kind for you. It's like, why are you doing this? What are you gonna get out of it? You find yourself questioning in your mind, feeling like someone has an ulterior motive for doing something for you. Trust issues. When we have trust issues, it makes it hard to receive, hard to just allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to let somebody help us. But why? Because the fear is, this is too good to be true. I don't really trust their why. Why are they really doing this? That's trust issues. Again, having been betrayed, having been, abandoned, having had someone maybe manipulate you. Maybe they did something, but they were only manipulating you. So you think everybody else is out to manipulate you. Another one is sometimes, again, this is more romantic. We avoid intimacy. You may find yourself avoiding intimacy because intimacy requires being vulnerable. When you're intimate with people, you trust. People with trust issues try to avoid feeling vulnerable at all costs. In other words, you don't want to, you don't want to go there. You don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to maybe share too much with somebody because you feel like, no, if this is too much to tell them. I don't know if I can trust them with it. This is a little bit too private about me. It may turn on me. It may backfire. Again, if that is you, clearly there's a trust issue there, again, because somewhere in your life you have been betrayed, and so it's just quite natural to feel very, very fearful of opening yourself up again. Here's another sign of having trust issues, though: holding grudges. Holding grudges. Is that you? In holding grudges in this way, it's like once someone has broken your trust or let you down, you just never forget. And it can really be hard to forgive them and find yourself trusting them again. It's like you secretly hold this grudge. Come on, is that you? Is that you? You know you're my one now. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real so we can heal. My motto: be real, let's heal. Don't judge, can't judge. You know why you're listening to the Hope Zone? You know why that title grabbed you? You had to listen today. I'm telling you, you want to overcome this trust issue because it is a serious stronghold and it can really hinder your relationships. It just can hinder your ability to just flourish and have peace, be at peace, have joy when you find yourself, having these trust issues. But again, holding grudges is a sign. Sometimes in relationships, you may pick a fight with your spouse or significant other in some way. Not a physical fight, but when you have trust issues, you are so keenly aware of the little things that go wrong in a relationship. You really don't trust your partner. You really so having these trust issues really, they really keep you in the past. They really keep you in the past, and they cause you to just pick a fight because it's like you want to bring up something from the past because you're holding a grudge, right? And so it's like you start a fight just so y'all can talk about it. Do you find yourself doing that? Picking a fight? Come on, bringing it up again. Do you sound like a broken record? You might not think you do, but if you keep bringing up the past and bringing up what someone's done, proves that you have the trust issue. You have the issue that's really bigger than their issue because having trust issues is a thief of peace for real. It really, really is. So, here's another one. You may avoid commitment. When we have trust issues, don't want to commit, whether it's committing to a relationship, whether it's really committing to anything that may even sound like it's long term. Sometimes it just can be very difficult. It really can because once again, self-preservation. Don't want to be hurt again. Don't want to feel abandonment again. Don't want to feel manipulated again. Don't want to feel like someone pull the rug out from under you. It's like, I don't know if I can commit because what if he or she is not really the person they say they are? What if they're just, deceiving me, just trying to get in good with me? It could be so many ways that people can violate our trust, whether it could be in the workplace. Um, it can be in our personal life, as I've mentioned. It can be at church. You can develop trust issues, with your church leadership or pastor, whomever, with your boss at work. Again, it's so many different ways. So when you think about trust and wondering, do you have trust issues, or if you know from me reading this list that already that you do have trust issues. You want to deal with it. You want to deal with having those trust issues because you don't want to be the person that has to spy or check somebody's cell phone. Again, if you're in a personal relationship with someone, significant other, spouse, you don't want to be that person, right? Because it sucks joy, sucks your own peace. It steals your ability to go through a day and just be okay and laugh and and be at peace. It's like the phone rings, anything you see that looks like that person is betraying your trust, it can just spiral out of control and lead to some big argument. It can lead to a breakup and get back together. It can just really ruin so much when we have trust issues. It really, really, really can. It's such a thief. It can cause you to become a loner because like, I don't trust anybody. It's just me, myself. I don't really open myself up. People turn on you. People are not who they say they are. All of these kinds of things. Again, when we have been violated, when someone has crushed our trust, and I know people can crush your trust, they can. Again, stemming all the way back from childhood, it can be planted so there that it causes you to put this wall up that makes it very difficult to get to know you. If you got trust issues, it's hard for people to get to know you. Like, that's for real. So you think about having these trust issues. You think about, now, what can I do? What really can I do? I don't want this to be me. I don't want to be the person that goes through life having trust issues. I got some good news. Got some things I can share with you that I believe will be helpful. A good way to become more trusting is really to push ourselves to trust other people in small doses. We start small because if you can do it in a small way, it can begin to grow and you can find yourself trusting a little bit more. So we want to set the tone for the fact that you're going to have to push yourself. If you really want to overcome distrust, having distrust and having trust issues, you have to take the initiative. You have to say, I'm going to push past this fear and I'm not going to punish everyone that is in my life now for the one or two people that violated my trust in the past. I'm not going to make every man pay for what one man did to me. I'm not going to make every woman pay for what one woman or two women did to me that let me down, that violated my trust. Life is a risk. Relationships are a risk. I mean, it's just a risk to open yourself up, but you can do it in just small doses. So let me give you some, again, how some additional ways of how you can really overcome trust issues. Number one, you want to express your feelings and concerns. So if you got a trust issues with a person, you want to ask them to allow you to express your feelings and express what you really are concerned about. And hopefully you have somebody that is willing to listen, and if they're not willing to listen, you have to be willing to challenge them in a way that if this relationship is important, that they will listen to you. So you want to be able to express what's the real concern you have? What are your real feelings? What is it that they personally have done that has caused you to need to express it? That's number one. Number two, take those small steps to rebuild trust. Take the small steps. And you have to recognize that, people are human. People are we are fallen, fallible, finite, fickle flesh. We are going to miss the mark. We are going to let each other down. We may not keep our word all the time. We may do something that we shouldn't have done, but we all deserve grace. We do. And so in small steps, you want to do that. You want to say, you know what? I'm going to take a small step to rebuild this trust. I'm going to allow, and whatever that small step is for you, you can ask the person to tell you what they need for you that will be helpful for them to feel like you're trusting them. People can help you. Your spouse can help you by telling you, if you would just do this one small thing, this I believe would help you trust me. So partner with your partner, if you will, right? Talk to the person that you have the trust issue with when you can do that. Number three, you want to prioritize trust in your relationship, and you do want to yourself model trustworthiness. So if you want people to trust you, make sure that you're trustworthy. Make sure that you do what you say you're going to do. Make sure that you allow yourself to have that integrity, to keep your word, to follow through on things, to go where you say you're going. Come on now, it works two ways. So you want to make sure that you are trustworthy, because we reap what we sow. Help me, somebody. We reap what we sow. So you want to make sure you are sowing the seed of trustworthiness so that you can expect the harvest of having a trustworthy, come on, trustworthy spouse, trustworthy partner, trustworthy friend, trustworthy, a coworker, or what have you, whatever the relationship is. We have all kinds of relationships in our lives, and we want to make sure we're sowing the seed of being trustworthy. Number four, you want to give people a chance to change. Nobody changes overnight. Sometimes it takes a while for you to really see the pattern of new good behavior. Give people that chance to change. Give people a chance. They're not going to change overnight, but be open. And once you lay out what you need, those small things that you need that will help you to feel that you can trust that person. Talk to the person. Let them know what you need. Ask them. Come on, you can ask your spouse or ask that person, would they be willing to teach you how to trust them? Okay, people train us to trust them, and so if you all work together, instead of you just saying, I can't trust you, you don't keep your word, you don't do this, you don't do that, and I can't trust you, putting a wall up, you'll never get there, because you gotta trust the fact that it's going to take time, and you have to give people a chance to change. Number five, you want to seek to understand before being understood. Understand why they may have acted the way they did or did what they did. Try to put yourself in the spouse shoes. Try to put yourself in the and your adult child's shoes, or your shoes, or your younger child's shoes, or your coworker shoes, or your boss shoes. Try to understand why people do what they do or did what they did that may have led to violating your trust. So because we all are going to fall short. And so it's like being willing to understand their why, rather than being so crushed and so defeated, like you've never let somebody down, like you've never, violated trust, because we all have. Every last one of us has violated somebody's trust. Every last one of us, whether we went and told something that we shouldn't have told, come on, which is gossip. Come on, there are ways that we all fall short when it comes to missing the mark and not being trustworthy, to be very honest. So being able to understand the why behind why someone may have violated your trust, that's important. That really is important. You want to do that. You do want to do that. Number six is practice forgiveness. You really do want to practice forgiveness. I just want to be honest with you. You want to practice FORGIVE. When you choose to forgive, you choose to be free. Get wiggy with it. Hey, I'm always going to slide in forgiveness. Come on. You want to practice that. Practice forgiveness. Practice giving the mercy. Practice giving grace. God is ready to forgive so quickly. The Bible says in Psalm 86:5, it says, Lord, you are good. You are ready to forgive. You are plenteous in mercy to all who call upon you. We have to remember, God is so quick and merciful. Why can't we be that? Why can't we just be merciful to forgive and practice that as a habit so we don't build up such walls of distrust? Does that make sense? We sometimes we're just building up a big such wall of distrust that we don't even realize we got trust issues now. A lot of times it's because we didn't forgive. We didn't release. We did not allow ourselves to extend that same mercy that we ourselves need. And really and truly, that is the truth. Um, and number 7 here, seek professional help if you need it. If you have such strong trust issues that it is such a spirit on you, because trust or distrust, it's a stronghold. A stronghold is when you believe something that is a lie. You believe something that's not true, but you defend your right to believe it. And distrust is truly a stronghold because people really do feel justified. No, I have a reason. No, I know I should distrust. I have a reason. Listen, what this is what they did. This is what they did. And I remember when my father was a child, and I saw how my father treated my mother. And she couldn't trust him. So no, I can't trust a man, and I can't trust, and I won't. No, I'm not. No, I probably take these trust issues to my grave. That's a stronghold because you're believing something that's not true. You're believing something that's not true. We are overcomers. We are overcomers. We have the power to overcome any spirit, any issue, because we don't wrestle with flesh nor blood. It is with principalities and powers and rulers of darkness, but mostly it is with spiritual wickedness. We deal with spirits. We deal with spirits that start as strongholds. And because we don't deal with it when it was first a toehold, come on, that toehold became a foothold, and the foothold became a stronghold. And now the stronghold is this major spirit in our life that we can't overcome, but we can overcome. We have to get real and face it and say, you know what? Dr. B is right. Some of those things that she listed today and talked about, that's me. I do those things. There's no shame. There's no shame. There's no need to deny. There's no need to cover up or pretend or be in denial. There's no need. There's no need. There's no need. Do you want to be the best version of yourself? I mean, the very best version of yourself. If you do, then decide you want to face your trust issues. You want to not go through life being crushed because somebody violated your trust. No, you are able through Jesus Christ to overcome anything. You are an overcomer. He says that Philippians 4:13 tells us that we literally can overcome anything, and that we are conquerors, and that I can do all things through Jesus Christ, not through my own strength, but through Christ that strengthens me. It's through God, it's through Christ that we can overcome anything. And I'm gonna tell you how you really overcome. The root of being able to, the truest seed and way to really, really overcome. These are some great steps, but I believe that the sealer to overcome trust issues is remember what God's word says and live by it. Psalm 118 verse 8 is so powerful. Psalm 118 verse 8 says, it is better to put your trust in the Lord than your confidence in man. Get that. Love people, but trust God. Doesn't mean that you can't open yourself, open your heart to trust people. But it means have a healthy perspective to know that human beings are fallen, fallible, fickle, finite flesh. Human beings are going to miss the mark. Human beings are just that. We are so fleshly in our flesh, we will cause distrust. We will miss the mark. But the Bible says, if you put your trust in the Lord and you purpose in your heart to give grace to men when they fall short, you'll be at peace. And you won't allow the seed of distrust to erode, come on, your heart in such a way, your spirit in such a way that you're suspicious with distrust. You are just absolutely just a void of peace. No, Jesus did not die for us to have trust issues. He died that we would trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding in all of our ways. Just acknowledge him and all of our relationships. Keep him at the forefront. Every relationship that you have, put God first in that relationship and trust God with your heart. People will let you down. Be willing to forgive them, extend grace, but put your heart and your soul and your mind on trusting God because he can be trusted. He can be trusted to heal you when people fail you. Did you hear that? God can be trusted to heal you when people fail you. Yes, he can. Psalm 143, verse 8. He says, let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for in you do I trust. Oh my God, I love it. He says, show me the path in which I should go, for I entrust you with my life. Let me tell you something. I love people, but I trust God with my life. I trust God with my heart. I trust God with my deepest affairs. I trust God, come on, in ways that allow me to heal when someone violates my trust because I don't harbor. I don't expect human beings to be more than what human beings are. We are human beings. We are human beings that fall short. The Bible says, for all have fallen short of the glory of God. Romans 3:23. It is just the truth. And the quicker we come to that realization, and the quicker that we humble ourselves and put ourselves on the same level. Can you put yourself on the same level as the person that you have trust issues with? Can you? Because if you can, it will soften your heart. I know it takes time to rebuild trust. People have to show consistency. People who violated our trust and we're still in relationship with, they do have to show consistency. They have to do things different. They have to keep their word. They have to do opposite of what they did that violated our trust. But it takes humility, not pride, not grudge holding, not holding unforgiveness, not having that pridefulness about us that says, well, you did this to me and you did this to me and I can't trust you and I'll never be able to trust you again. Can God trust us to keep our word? Can he trust us to read his word? Can he trust us? Come on now. Have to humble ourselves and extend grace, extend mercy, and give God an opportunity to do the healing. And if we keep our focus on God in every relationship, that when we have been wounded or hurt or violated in our trust, keep your eyes fixated on God and say, God, I know that my trust was violated. I need you to help me because I do feel hurt. I do feel pain. I do feel fear. I do feel betrayed. Get real with God. Just be real. Be real. Be honest. Be honest with the person that you may have some trust issues with. But at the end of the day, you really do want to allow humility to enter into your own heart and look at your own self in the mirror and realize how many times has God forgiven you and given you new mercies and new grace to be trusted again and again and again. That kind of mindset, that kind of maturity will serve you well. Teach people to trust you by asking them to help you trust them. Partner together with that person and let them know what you need them to do and ask them, come on, ask them to teach you, to train, teach you to trust them again. We have to give each other grace. We have to be willing to not hold somebody's behavior against us and things that they've done for the rest of their lives. That's not God, and that's not grace. Let's be men and women of grace. Let's be true children of God. What to do when your trust has been crushed? Open your heart to the Father and allow Him to do a healing work. Go back into your past, deal with those issues that caused you to have distrust in the first place. Face those uns that I talk about often, the unhealed hurt, those unresolved issues, and those unmet needs, and do it one day at a time, and you will be amazed. You can regain a sense of trust. Be a person who is trustworthy, and that will sow the seed that you'll be able to have relationships where you can trust. If somebody's truly untrustworthy, that's a whole nother ball game. That's something sometimes you have to remove yourself from that kind of relationship. But more often than not, if you're in relationships and you have all these trust issues, you're punishing people who deserve a chance to be trusted, just as you deserve a chance to be trusted. Well, that is today's word. Wow. I decree and declare that somebody, my one, you have heard this message, this podcast, episode 58, and that it has blessed you. If it has, and you know there's somebody else in your life, or you don't know whether they have trust issues or not, but you want to encourage somebody who possibly may have some, share the podcast, share this episode. And I'd love for you to subscribe to the episode as well, so that you can subscribe to the podcast so you can continue to get the episode. We upload every Monday, a fresh dose of hope from the Hope Zone with me, Brenda Caldwell, Dr. B. So until next time, listen, if you want more information about the works of Dr. B, go to my website at drbempowers.com, drbempowers.com. And I always say, in a world full of darkness, there's always a reason to have hope. So you know what I want you to do? Hold on to hope like it's a piece of rope. Until next time. I'm so glad you made it to the end of the podcast. If the Hope Zone is making a positive difference in your life, please subscribe to the show so you don't miss the next episode. Leave a review, and most of all, share it with your friends. And remember, from your worst day to your best day, there's hope in every situation.